So DC Fandome was about a month ago, and something's been bothering me about it, and I couldn't put my finger on it until today. You want to hear what it is? Stick around, I'll tell you. Hello, all my friends out there in YouTube land. It is your good buddy Philtastic Phil here, and I want to welcome you back to my channel. So just as I was talking about in the introduction, I am going to talk about DC Fandome today. But before we do that, I'm going to get into the book of the video. I'm going to warn you, it's not a DC book, and it's one that I guarantee you not many of you are reading, or have read, I should say, because it was a limited series. It was a bit of a controversial series. It was supposed to come out right before the pandemic started, but like the rest of the world, it was delayed. And it just wrapped up with this issue, which came out in, I'm going to say September, maybe August, and that is Children of the Atom number 6, written by Vita Ayala. And I might be saying her name wrong, so I'm just going to say Vita the rest of the time. I mean no disrespect. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I'm a big fan of hers. I really love her work on New Mutants. One of the better of the X-Men books that are out there today that doesn't nearly get as much attention as it should. Why is this book my book of the video? First of all, you're dealing with a team of unknowns, all new characters. But in this particular issue, she finally tied them into, I think, the bigger X-Men line in a really well done way. One of the characters actually personally being invited to the Hellfire Gala. And it wasn't just like a flash in the pan thing. I thought it was really masterfully done, in my opinion, of course. If you're a speculator, here's something for you. The Brian Michael Bendis era X-Men character Golden Balls, yeah, that's his name. I think it initially came out in the Ultimate Spider-Man series, or yeah, I think that was it. No, he had to come out in the X-Men series. Never mind. Anyway, Gold Balls has taken on a new name, Egg. I don't know when this happened, but this is the first time I could recall anybody calling him Egg. So there's a little bit of spec for you, I guess, if you want. Am I wrong? Is this not the first time he's been called Egg? If I am wrong, just let me know. Leave a comment. Leave a comment anyway. But that's not the reason why this is the book of the video. It's the reason this is the book of the video. I don't want to spell it out for you, but I'm going to give you a little peek, because it is one of the last panels of the issue. Okay, like I said, just a peek, because you should pick up this book, or at least read it digitally. All I'm going to say is that if Disney really wants to bring the X-Men in, and they really want to into the MCU, and really wants to bring them up to speed as far as today's culture and whatnot, that's an excellent diagram on how to do it. I'm not going to say that it challenges the way that Stan Lee has always described the X-Men, which is more about a parable for racial tension in the 60s. It honors it, but at the same time it updates it. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments. And if you've read it, let me know too. Just let me know either way. Anyway, DC Fandome. They had a little bit of everything for everyone. Believe me, I didn't plan on watching the whole thing, and I did, and at the end I was like, I could have just waited till later on to watch the trailers on YouTube or something. Oh well. I will say this with the movie trailers. Of course, everything looks great. If that Batman movie is not superb, then those actors and that director deserve an Oscar for DC Fandome for selling us this movie. And look, I know that that's part of actors' jobs. Look, I saw the 97 or 98 Godzilla movie in the movie theaters, and I still think the best acting job Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller, has ever done is actually selling that movie, because that thing was terrible. I'll talk about the gorilla in the room, Superman. Superman changing his slogan, specifically, dropping the American way. I'll be honest with you, I could care less. I don't read modern day Superman. If you do, that's great. Leave a comment. Tell me why you like it. Shout out to Anthony Desiato, by the way, huge Superman fan. I've talked about his podcast before, Digging for Kryptonite, rather. I encourage you to check it out, and this isn't the Superman that he talks about either. It's just, look, I haven't read Superman in a long time. I don't know many people who are regularly reading the newer Superman titles. It doesn't affect how I look at Superman. It doesn't affect how I look at the book. I'm not going to pick it up because he changed the slogan, and I won't not pick it up, I guess you could say. And truthfully, I think a big part of that is a lot of the people who were upset, how can he drop the American way, are people who haven't read Superman in a very, very long time and probably haven't even thought about Superman in a long time. The same thing happened when Superman died. People were all upset, how can you kill Superman? And the answer DC had at the time was, well, when was the last time you read Superman? The other big thing with Superman, of course, is his son coming out as bisexual. Could care less. It's a fictional character. If that bothers you that much, I'm sorry, you got to do something else. Read a book, take a walk, do something. Again, I'm not going to pick up the book because of it, and I won't not pick up the book because of it. But, and honestly, I know that DC knows this. They're not new to this. When you make a big announcement like that, you're going to get people who are fake upset for 5 minutes. And just like that, they go away. So, DC Fandome. What was missing? They talked about the movies. They talked a little bit about the comics. Could have had more of the comics, but that's not what I'm talking about, what was missing. They talked about the cartoons. They talked about the TV shows. And I didn't realize that there were so many TV shows. I'll be honest with you, though. I've never watched the Batwoman series. It just doesn't appeal to me. That kid playing Batwing, whoever that actor is, I've never seen somebody come off so pompous before. I think if he was on that screen another 2 minutes, he was going to take credit for creating Batwing. Still, not going to check it out. Almost as pompous as the football player making the $800 Superman cowboy hats that nobody's going to buy. No, so what was missing? They talked a lot about Batman, Superman, all the characters. Here's what really struck a nerve with me and what I really think DC should have done. And really, I think Marvel should be doing this as well. There was little to no spotlight on the creators. And I'm not talking about Jim Lee. I'm not talking about Jeff Johns. Case in point. September 18th, this past year, was Batman Day. Batman is a fictional character. We all know this. 75, 80 years old, something like that. Character that we all enjoy from, depending on the writer, I guess you could say, depending on the circumstance. Fictional character makes the company a lot of money. Gotcha. September 18th was also the birth date of a creator who passed away a long time ago. I shouldn't say a long time ago, a few years ago, who made DC a lot of money, and really who I think does not get nearly as much credit in the comic book creator community as he should, even though it's one that I know all the creators appreciate. And that is Mr. Joe Kubert. That's right. September 18th, the day that DC named Batman Day, was the departed Joe Kubert's, would have been his birthday. Why is that such a big deal to me? Again, Kubert, aside from his body of work, which was massive, the one I'm showing off, by the way, I should say this, is my hardcover copy of Facts from Sarajevo. This is not a DC book. This is a Dark Horse book. And in retrospect, maybe I should have made it the book of the video, but oh well, we're in it already. This was actually a true story of, I think it was one of Joe's friends who was stuck in Sarajevo during the early 90s. His family was in Sarajevo. I think the guy was a comic book art collector or agent and survived, and they were faxing back and forth. Compelling story. You should definitely check it out. I got this copy actually when it came out. And I was thinking about going to art school at that point. I wound up going to art school. That's a whole nother story. I'll say this. If you're interested in studying comic book art, specifically, animation, computer animation, art school might not be the best place to do it. I'm not going to go into it. I don't regret going to the school I went to because I've made friends that I cherish for a lifetime. They're like my brothers to me. And let's say I got a different kind of education. I did get a different appreciation, I will say this, for some of the fine arts. But there are other places to go if you want to study comic book art, computer animation, cartooning, that kind of things. One of them actually happens to be around the corner from me, and it's the Joe Kubert School. I've taken some of their night classes in writing. Nothing in art yet, but check them out. I digress, though. I was thinking about attending art school, and this is when the internet was around, but people didn't go on it as easily or as regularly as they do. This is when you had American Online, and your internet was through your phone, and you may or may not be able to get through without getting a busy signal. Anyway, my mom actually pulled a little newspaper announcement, or ad, I guess you could say, saying that Joe Kubert was going to appear at the Barnes & Nobles right up the road from us in Livingston, New Jersey. So I went, and again, it was like 16, 17 at the time, probably 17. And there was like 6 people there. I mention that because nowadays, if you put, hey, we're going to have this big creator somewhere and it's on the internet, you're going to have people there at 6 in the morning. Anyway, he was talking about his book, and he gave me some advice, but I just wanted to point out he did sign this book for me. And that wasn't the last time I met Joe Kubert, but it was the first, and in my opinion, one of the best times. Again, I bring this up because DC's made a lot of money off of fictional characters. No doubt about that. They've made a lot of money off of creators. And I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to debate the fact that, if you work for a company and you create something for them, guess what? It's their creation. I get that. All I'm saying is, in your big 4.5 hour event, how about put like 5 minutes aside to say, hey, we just want to acknowledge the people who created the characters and the people who really helped create our universe, and put Joe Kubert up there along with any other creator that they could think of, and they're not legally obligated to put the beginning of all their comics. Again, this is just my opinion. Don't take it to heart if you disagree, but I am interested in hearing your opinion. Am I onto something? Do you agree with me? Do you think, why should you care? Why should you bother? Have you checked out Factum Sarajevo? You should. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what you're thinking. Share this video, like it, subscribe if you haven't. I'm getting closer and closer, by the way, to 100 subscribers. Almost halfway there. Once we do, we're going to have a giveaway. So start spreading the word now, and maybe I'll give you a little something extra. Anyway, thank you again for checking out this channel. I do appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed my babbling. I hope that you enjoyed my dry mouth. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, your night, your weekend. Peace, love, and comics.